West Indies hosts England. This is your Test Series preview.
Rally, rally round the West Indies, now and forever. Rally, rally round the West Indies, never say never.
Yes, rally round the West Indies. That is the cry from David Rudder. And boy, do we need it. Listen, it ain't been the best of times for West Indies over the last decade or so. You know, me growing up, I didn't see the West Indies that my parents and grandparents talk about. When you go back to the Caribbean and they talk about the Marshalls and the Holding and the Viv Richards, you know. I grew up on Brian Lara, to be fair. For me, who is probably the greatest batsman of all time. I grew up on Walsh and Ambrose, who, as a partnership, there's not many in the history of cricket who are better than them as a fast bowling partnership. But in between all of that, and you put the whole thing together, we've really struggled in the last 10 or 20 years. But when it comes to England, all of that has to go out the window. It just has to go out the window. England are a good side. That can't be denied. They just whitewashed India over in England. They've got a very good one-day international side, and they've done well in a number of Test series. I don't have all the numbers and records in front of me. I don't focus on England like that. But we know that it's going to be a tough series, 3-match Test series. But the reality is, we've lost one series at home to England since 1965. One. That was in 2004 with the beat us 3-0. But even that series was remembered for the 400 not out that Brian Lara scored in the last Test in Antigua, the world record as it still stands. Since then, we've beaten them in 2009. Jerome Taylor rattling through that batting lineup, 51 all out in Kingston, Jamaica, Sabina Park, and winning that series 1-0. And in the last, I think, 2015, we came back from 1-0 down, drew that series 1-1 with a win in the final Test in Barbados. So when it comes to us playing England at home, we got a very, very good record, and we need to keep up that record and retain this Wisden Trophy. The last time we played England, what was that, 2016, 17 in England. It was a tough time. The ball was swinging. The weather wasn't conducive to us. The ball was swinging all over the place. But we still got a brilliant win over in Headingley, where Shea Hope scored 2 centuries, one in either innings. The first player ever to do that at Headingley and won that match. As it was, England came back and won the series 2-1. But for me, that hope, the innings from hope, that gave us hope that there is a future for West Indies in Test cricket. Since then, we've lost to Bangladesh in Bangladesh. And in Test cricket these days, away from home, teams tend to struggle. Even the best. As I said, India came over here and they got washed by England. But people will consider that they are a better side than England. Actually, they've just gone over to Australia. As I say that, and they're beating Australia over there. So that shows the level that India are at and India can play. But they weren't able to get a result in England. So it's no mean feat for us to have. So it's no shame for us to have lost a series away in England. But now we're at home. We have to make sure the home advantage pays off for us. The squad's been selected. We know that when we played in Bangladesh, they brought back Devon Smith. I can't work it out sometimes. Devon Smith. We haven't seen that guy in years. Devon Smith. You're thinking there must be some youngsters out there who's got a future. This man's 30 plus. His time has come and gone. Some people will say he didn't get the rub of the green. He wasn't afforded enough chances when he did get into the side. Fair enough, cool. But you can't cry over spilled milk. It's done. It's dusted. His time in West Indies cricket is over. He can do whatever he needs to do at the regional level, but he should never be selected for West Indies again. I don't care how many runs he scores, because the reality is he is not the future of West Indies cricket. Well, the squad has been selected and he's not in the squad. I'm not surprised, because when it comes to selections, it seems we're a bit up and down. We select someone for one game, one match, one series, and the next series they're out, and then there's someone else is in and someone out. So it's a bit up and down when it comes to that. But the squad has been selected nonetheless. That is Jason Holder, of course, as captain. Craig Brathwaite, he's the opener, and they've got 2 debutants actually. John Campbell, who I believe is the opening batsman as well, he will probably open alongside Brathwaite. Shamar Brooks, he's another debutant. Roston Chase, Shane Dowrich, the keeper. Shannon Gabriel, express fast bowler. Shimron Hetmeyer, Shea Hope, Alzari Joseph, Kemar Roach, and Jamel Warrican. No Bishu, which is surprising, but they've got Warrican, who's a spinner, as well as Roston Chase. Now, O'Shane Thomas has been called up as a backup to Alzari Joseph because he has recently just come up from injuries. But the big inclusion, the massive inclusion everyone's talking about, is that the return of Darren Bravo. And I'm so happy. 2 years he's been out of this squad. 2 years, unjustly, as far as I'm concerned. Unjust. The West Indies Cricket Board are selfish. The West Indies Cricket Board are not thinking about what is best for West Indies cricket. They only think about themselves. And that is the reason why Darren Bravo and many other senior players haven't played for West Indies for how many years. I'm happy that they've sorted out the differences, at least for this series, if not entirely. He obviously came back for the ODI series against Bangladesh, so we knew that was in the pipeline. And now he's been called back to the test, and this guy, he's going to add so much to this batting lineup. He's got an average of over 40. At one point at the beginning of his career, his numbers were matching, identical to that of Brian Lara. And the funny thing about that is that he's a relative of Brian Lara. I think it's his nephew, or like, through marriage anyway. His style is very, very similar to Brian Lara's. And even his looks, he actually looks similar to Brian Lara. The man, for me, was like Brian Lara has come again. But as we know through West Indies the last few years, these talents come through and they don't go on to where they should. You know, if Darren Bravo was Indian or Australian or even English, his career, he would be averaging over 50 easily. But something within the West Indies setup means these players, they reach a level and different politics get involved, and sometimes to do with money. The cricket board ain't paying what the different 2020 leagues across the world are, and they stop playing for West Indies or stop playing in the regional game, and because of that they don't get selected for the test side, etc. Chris Gale was a victim of that. Dwayne Bravo, see Darren Bravo's brother, is the victim of that, and there's many others. I could be here all day talking about that. But the reality is, this is a squad that's been selected. Darren Bravo, I'm hoping he's going to slot into that number 3 position, because we've had a number of batsmen go in there and struggle in that position. I think Bravo is the player to do that, and to have him, Brathwaite was at the top, him and Shea Hope. That's 3 solid batsmen who you can, I'm not saying expect, but you can be confident that they can give you a century in a match. And if we can get that out of them, then I don't see any reason why we can't get a result in this series. I'm not saying we're necessarily going to win. I said England are a good side. They've got a variety of different types of players, the likes of Rashid in terms of spinning, and they've got an array of fast bowlers, Broad, Anderson. But one thing I would say is that when it comes to bowlers away from home, Anderson is the one we need to watch out for. Broad, he seems to struggle outside of England, and the younger ones, I guess Curran, etc. They could perform and they might not. It's a bit inconsistent, but Anderson is the consistent bowler, leading wicket taker in fast bowling wicket taking history. The guy's world class, and yes, he's getting older, but he's experienced. He knows what he's doing, and he's the one we really need to watch out for. And of course, their batting lineup. They've still, at the top of the batting lineup, there's a lot of issues they've got. Since obviously Cook has retired, Roy Burns and Keaton Jennings, I believe, is going to be the opening batsman for them. I say that they're playing a match at the moment against the West Indies Cricket Board 11, and it was Roy Burns and Keaton Jennings to open. However, yes, it's Roy Burns, Keaton Jennings, Joe Root obviously is captain, Moeen Ali, can't forget him, spinner and batsman, is going to be very crucial for them. But they bat deep. The top of the order isn't, apart from Root, isn't that threatening. But depending on where they go with, they bat deep because they've got Bairstow, they've got Butler, they've got Stokes, and there's no Marlon Samuels when it comes to the Stokes-Samuels rivalry, because that was epic in itself. But Stokes is a brilliant batsman. And then, they've got a rare wicket keepers. They can choose between Butler, they can choose between Bairstow, and they've got Folks as well, who came in their previous series. So it's not going to be an easy series. I'm excited to see. I want to see 3 fast bowlers for us. That's Joseph, Gabriel, of course, and Kemar Roach. For me, that would be the ideal 3 that we go with, plus 1 spinner, and of course Jason Holder there as well. We need to make sure we take the 20 wickets. No point packing the bat in without being able to bowl out England. I think we can do it. I'm confident. Shea Hope for me is the main man. Darren Bravo, as I said, comeback is a massive boost, but Hope is the man in form. He is the leading light of West Indies cricket in the last few years in terms of the batting lineup anyway. And if we can get he can get support from the likes of Bravo, Brathwaite and Chase and Dowrich and Hetmeyer. Hetmeyer is a talent. I've seen this guy in the ODIs especially. He's a talent. He needs to learn a bit of temperament, know when to go after shots and when not to. But if he can get going, then we can cause some damage in this series. I'm going for another 1-1 draw in this series, and for me that will be a good result and a big boost for the team, and hopefully we can push on in the future. Let me know in the comments below what you think, or what you're expecting to see from this West Indies side, and what you think the results of this 3-match test series will be. Check out the rest of our videos, and I'll see you soon.